Being unhappy isn't the same as being depressed. Depression is a term often used loosely to describe how we often feel after a bad week at work or when we're going through a breakup. But major depressive disorder, a type of depression, is much more complicated. There are specific symptoms that determine whether it's depression or the sadness we all sometimes experience. Thankfully, many treatments are available for depression and some signs can be spotted early on. So join us today as we talk about the early signs of depression. Feeling down from time to time is normal, but when emotions like hopelessness and despair take hold and refuse to leave, you may be suffering from depression. This is more than just sadness in response to life's difficulties and setbacks. It alters how you think, feel, and function in daily activities. It can make it difficult for you to work, study, eat, sleep, and enjoy life. Just getting through the day can even be quite difficult. While some describe depression as living in a black hole or a sense of impending doom, others describe it as lifeless, empty, and apathetic. Men in particular can become agitated and restless. Regardless of how you experience the problem, it can become a serious health condition if it isn't treated. But it's more important to remember that feelings of helplessness and hopelessness are symptoms of depression, not the reality of your situation. Physical symptoms can also occur as a result of depression. These may include joint pain, back pain, digestive issues, difficulty sleeping, and appetite changes. You may also have slowed speech and movements. The reason for this is that serotonin and norepinephrine, two brain chemicals linked to depression, play a role in both mood and pain. No matter how hopeless you feel, you can get better. By recognizing the different symptoms of depression, you can take the first steps towards feeling better and overcoming it. Don't be afraid, ashamed, or embarrassed to ask for help. Everyone has limits and that doesn't exclude you. Your regular doctor is a good place to start. They can test you for depression and help manage your symptoms. If your depression goes untreated, however, it may get worse and last for months and years. It can cause pain and possibly lead to suicide, as it does for about 1 out of every 10 people with depression. Before we continue, a brief request from us. If you find value in this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss our valuable content on health in the future. Now off to the list of the early signs of depression. Number 1. Having a hopeless outlook on life. Major depression is a mood disorder that affects your overall outlook on life. The most common symptom of depression is a hopeless or helpless outlook or a bleak take on life. Other feelings may include worthlessness, self-hatred, or excessive guilt. Common recurring depressive thoughts may include, "It's all my fault," or "What's the point?" Number 2. Increased fatigue and sleep problems. Part of the reason you might stop doing the things you enjoy is because of exhaustion. Depression is frequently accompanied by a lack of energy and an overwhelming sense of fatigue. These can be among the most debilitating symptoms of depression, and this can also lead to excessive sleeping. Depression and insomnia are also linked, as one can lead to the other. They can also agitate each other. Moreover, anxiety can also be worsened by a lack of quality, restful sleep. Number 3. Changes in appetite and weight. Depression can cause weight and appetite fluctuations. Each person's experience may be unique. Some people will have an increased appetite and gain weight, while others will be hungry and will continue to lose weight. One indication of whether dietary changes are related to depression is if they're intentional or not. If they aren't, it could be due to depression. Number 4. Uncomfortable emotions and mood swings. Others have said their depression sometimes manifests as anger, sadness, and frustration, and these can greatly affect relationships. 1 minute it's an outburst of anger, the next you're crying uncontrollably. Nothing outside of you prompted the change, but your emotions are up and down at a moment's notice. Number 5. Thoughts of committing suicide. Suicide is often linked to depression. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 42,000 people died from suicide in the United States in 2013. Suicidal people usually exhibit symptoms first. Before taking their life, many people will talk about it or make the first attempt. If you believe someone is in immediate danger of harming themselves or others, call 911 or your local emergency number. Stay with the person and try to remove any guns, knives, medications, or other potentially dangerous items. And do your best to listen to them. without judging, arguing, threatening, or yelling. If you suspect someone is contemplating suicide, contact a crisis or suicide prevention hotline. Consider calling the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. Number 6. Irritability. Depression affects men and women differently. According to research, men with depression, though, may have symptoms such as irritability, escapist or risky behavior, substance abuse, or misplaced anger. Statistically, men are also less likely than women to recognize depression and seek treatment. Number 7. Loss of concentration. When a person trails off during conversation or loses their train of thought, this can indicate issues with memory and concentration, and these issues are common symptoms of depression. According to an older 2014 study, these difficulties with concentration and focus can worsen the social impact of depression. These do so by affecting work life and personal relationships and making these quite difficult. Furthermore, according to a 2018 narrative review, cognitive dysfunction is an important aspect of major depressive disorder. This can have a significant impact on a person's social life, ability to return to work, and workplace productivity. Number 8. Faking happiness. Hidden depression is sometimes referred to as smiling depression because people who hide their symptoms may make their faces appear happy while in the company of others. However, maintaining this forced happiness and positivity can be difficult. Over time, the mask may come off, revealing sadness, hopelessness, or loneliness. Number 9. Changes in personality. Some people with hidden depression experience personality changes. They may talk less, may become more withdrawn, or they may become angry and irritable. Many people do not associate anger and irritability with depression, but these mood changes are not unusual among those with the condition. Instead of appearing sad, some people with hidden depression may display irritability and overt or suppressed anger. Lastly, number 10. Losing interest in hobbies. One of the telltale symptoms of depression, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, is a loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities. Disinterest in previously enjoyed activities can be one of the first signs that a loved one is suffering from depression. Loss of interest can be overwhelming and far-reaching symptoms that impact your relationships with friends and family, your sexual health, work and school productivity, and hobby enjoyment. If you have had some of the previously mentioned symptoms for more than 2 weeks, you might be suffering from major depressive disorder. Recognizing that you're depressed is essential to getting the right help. Depression affects millions of people, but there are varying treatments available. From lifestyle changes to medications, there are quite a number of ways to seek treatment. No matter the path of treatment you choose, asking for professional help is the first step to getting back to feeling like yourself again. That concludes our video in the early signs of depression. Be reminded that this video is primarily for information only, and we don't claim to provide medical advice that is tailor-suited to your needs. Be reminded to consult with a medical professional and seek personalized healthcare that will fit you. And hey, leave us a like and subscribe. Anyway, see you later, and thank you for watching.